Hello everyone and welcome to PendulumEdu, and here in this session I am back with another vocabulary session for you guys. So here today I'm going to discuss another set of words with you guys to work on your vocabulary. And मैंने आपको पिछले सेशन में सिखाया था लाइक नॉट फॉर वोकैबुलरी सेशन, जो हम एसएससी का जो क्रैश कोर्स आपके लिए लाए थे उसमें मैंने आपको वोकैब ग्रैब करने का एक बहुत अमेजिंग तरीका बताया है, जो कि अगर आपने नहीं अटेम्प्ट किया है तो वो सेशन अटेम्प्ट कीजिए. एंड दिस टेक्निक, द मास्टर टेक्निक जो मैंने आपसे वहाँ डिस्कस की है गाइज, इट इज़ वंडरफुल. आप एक बेस वर्ड से इतने सारे वर्ड्स, रूट वर्ड नहीं कह रही हूँ, बेस वर्ड कह रही हूँ. एंड व्हेन यू गो एंड सी दैट टेक्निक you will be gobsmacked, you will be astonished to know that this is another way that you can do vocabulary so easily and you can retain it for longer time. So let's start working on today's vocabulary, and the article for today heads as Gaps in Learning on Rural Students and the Pandemic. Now when I talk about education in our country, if I talk of education in our country, then it's very obvious that some part of our country or some section of our society or country, they readily the education to them is readily available, but there is another section to whom this is the major challenge. Even basic education for them is a challenge to gain, to have. So the gap that is there in learning, we are probably going to discuss that in this article. Rural students, the major focus is on the marginal section of the society, that is the smaller section. Maybe if I say rural, then definitely I won't say that it's marginal. It has to be expanded and huge. But this is the small section, and amid the pandemic, because of the COVID hit, not just rural students, I would say that people in urban cities also are not willing to attend schools or colleges, because everyone at present is worried, is stressed, right? Now students can still learn during the pandemic if they get textbooks and resources. Very obvious. If you get the textbook and if you get the resources, if you get the ways to, or the source of your learning, yes, definitely people can learn. The students can grab, they can learn what is needed, right? In a year of severe disruption, what is disruption? Disruption is a noun which means the act or the situation of complete disaster. ओके, कहते ना कोई चीज का एकदम डैमेज हो जाना, नुकसान, भारी नुकसान, ठीक है. सो इन द ईयर ऑफ सिवियर डिसरप्शन, जहाँ पर हर जगह पर डैमेज, डिस्ट्रक्शन, यही सब देखने को मिल रहा है. फॉर स्कूल्स कॉज्ड बाय द COVID-19 पैंडेमिक, students in rural areas have received only marginal assistance. Marginal is an adjective which means a small amount. A small amount. कहते हैं ना like अत्यंत छोटा, बहुत छोटा. Okay. Minor. So minor assistance or help they have received in the form of structured learning materials from teachers, and have to rely more on parents. Rely is a verb used right here. Rely means to depend. It's a small word. It's a small word, but it is a common word as well. So they did not receive much of assistance from their teachers, but they were more and more dependent on their parents and the siblings to study at home. They had to spend their time at home with the siblings, or you can say with the parents. So they did not have much of resources. They could not attend school, so all they had was the elder siblings that they can get help from, or their parents. This unsettling finding, unsettling guys, unsettling, if you see, is an adjective used here. I am going to wipe off the screen and explain you the meaning. So Unsettling is an adjective, and unsettling is used here to qualify finding. So why this finding is unsettling? Because unsettling is an adjective which means it is not static or not relaxed. Okay, something that is like in an uneasy state. Okay, जिसको हम anxious भी कह देते हैं. Alright. तो कहीं ना कहीं unsettling finding है of the annual status of education report 2020 should prompt the center. Prompt, अब यहाँ पर prompt verb की तरह यूज हुआ है. Prompt noun भी होता है, prompt verb भी. Verb की तरह prompt का मतलब should push, should urge or force, उनको एक धक्का देना किसी काम को कराने के लिए. So it should prompt the center and state. ये जो unusual finding आई है इस report से that rural students को या learners को proper assistance नहीं मिल पा रही है या नहीं मिली है अब तक pandemic में, तो center और state governments को plan करना चाहिए remedial measures for the future. Remedial is used as an adjective. Remedial means like alternative. या इसको resolve करने के लिए जो solve करने के लिए जो measures हो सकते हैं वो उनको वहाँ पर they should provide, whether it's the center government or the state, both of them have to work together to come up with proper measures for the future of rural learners, when it will be safe again for students to return to the classroom. In the interim, like in meanwhile, interim means for the time being. For the time being, like provisional, okay? Temporarily, okay? Interim, जिसको हम कहते हैं अंतरिम. So अंतरिम काल में, for the time being, they must work with schools to make remote learning possible. Remote learning is distant learning. Like if they are learning from a distance, remote. Distance learning or distant learning, you can say distant, far. So because teachers are at their places, students are at their places, they are not coming together to school. Schools are not opening, okay? They are not opening at present. So what can be done at present is they can assist them for distant learning or for the remote learning process. See, it is exceedingly important. The reason is we cannot give up, we cannot quit on everything for a long span of time. Things have to go on. If things can be done or taken care without any physical contact or without being present, without going out of your house, why not? Because at present people are safe only if they are at home. Alright. Moving ahead, the writer says the ASER 2020 survey covering 26 states and 4 union territories has come up with striking findings. Okay, they have come up with an amazing finding or findings which are like which are valuable, which are worthy, including one of a shift in enrollments from the private schools to government institutions of about 5 percentage points over 2018. So it is a rise, okay, if you compare it to 2018, ranging from class 1 to higher secondary levels. Also with the suspension of physical classes. Suspension is used as a noun, suspension which means cancellation. Okay? किसी चीज को रद्द करना for the time being, कुछ समय के लिए उस चीज को suspend कर देना, cancel कर देना. Since the lockdown in March, there is a marked rise in students not being enrolled, either because they dropped out or because it was not possible to get admitted. So there are people, the students have dropped out of school, they have decided, okay, for this year they're not going to study, or that they could not get admitted because schools were closed. They didn't have much money to enroll themselves. It must also concern governments that the digital divide stands out starkly once again. Digital divide? Digital divide. Because see, if you want distant learning, what is happening? People are getting connected via their phones, okay, online. So the digital divide is starkly came out once again. The reason is, for rural people, it's not easy to have access to online sessions. They don't have those smartphones, okay. It's not necessary that every individual carries a smartphone. So, and if they could even afford it. So that is another thing, that's the digital divide that we have at present. So this is starkly, once again, starkly is an adverb that has been used, which means clearly or harshly. हार्श एकदम कठोर तरीके से ये आपके सामने आई है बात. Okay. Now, the survey found 43.6% of students in government schools without access to a smartphone, while 67.3% of those who received learning materials in these institutions got them over WhatsApp, underscoring the role played by gadgets and connectivity. Underscoring, that is emphasizing. Underscore is a verb. Underscore, it is a verb which means to emphasize. किसी चीज पर जोर डालना. Okay, so if you see right here, what does it say? That 43.6% of people, according to this survey, they do not have access to a smartphone. And more than 67% people or the student have been given this learning material through these over WhatsApp. When they don't have a smartphone, what is the purpose of sharing the material on WhatsApp? So this is where we lack. This is what the digital divide is that we are talking about. On the other hand, only half the children got help with studies at home. A third got materials from teacher, and nearly 60% use textbooks. So you see, 60% using textbook, which means they want physical education. They want the physical presence of the teacher. Only then it is possible for them. Only then it is viable for them to learn. So the digital divide has once again made it impossible, or made it challenging, okay, for the people to derive or to grab the education or the resources for their education. Moving ahead, the writer says, the ASER survey provides data that could facilitate intervention by the education system. Interference. Intervention is interference. Dakhal andazi. So what is happening? The ASER survey provides data that could facilitate intervention by the education system in some respects, even if going forward schools opt for a hybrid solution of partial reopening and online learning. So this is what has been suggested: partial reopening and online learning. Expanding availability of textbooks to all, including those who dropped out or are waiting to be formally admitted. So the textbook should be available to all, whether those who have dropped out, probably then they would rejoin. Like if the books reach them, and they then definitely would feel that, okay, we need to go back to school. Will help parents and siblings aid learning. Aid learning, that is help or assisted learning. Bridging the divide on educational aids now includes smartphones, will enable transmission of learning materials and personal tutorial sessions. So what is the benefit of having a smartphone? That ultimately is that a learning material can be transferred easily, and you can have your personal tutorial sessions. Beyond these basics, however, the education system could creatively use opportunities during the current year to broaden learning. That's very easy, simple to say that. if I talk about these basics, it's fine. However, if I look on the other hand, then the education system at present should ensure that it uses these opportunities, whatever the opportunities has in the current year that is going on, to expand the learning process. The online learning process, or the platform that is now viable, that is possible, should now come into being. Like, they can take the advantage and they can widespread, like they can make people aware that those who are never taught in school, they can also learn through the online system, right? So there are people who are, let's say, physically handicapped, they cannot go to school. There are many people who are the body doesn't allow, or the household things don't allow. So we can give them this opportunity, we can let them know, we can make them aware of the opportunities, the ways they can come up to, if they are interested in gaining education. Students could use the safety of the open countryside to learn, under guidance from teachers, a host of topics by doing things themselves. So there are different ways on learning. This is particularly feasible for lower classes. Feasible, that is possible for lower classes, where observational learning creates a strong foundation. Observational learning, wherein there is someone to observe them, there is someone to monitor them. Only then it's possible that they could have a strong foundation, because what happens is they do not have that sense of they're not aware of the importance of the education most of the time. So there have to be someone who monitors them and who observes each and every act of them. Educational video, which has helped thousands, can advance a learning even beyond the pandemic using talented teacher communicators. So if you want to advance learning, if you want to make it online, fine. But for that, we need amazing communicators. Teachers, whosoever is a teacher or a trainer has to be an effective communicator. See, why? क्यों एक अच्छा communicator होने की ज़रूरत है? Because if you're an effective communicator, only then can you communicate, or you can convey what you want, or what you want your audience to understand and relate to. So for that, it's very obvious that a person who is a teacher or a trainer needs to have an amazing communication skills. That is much needed. States such as Tamil Nadu and Kerala have already hosted curriculum-based video lessons on the internet. So they have given these video lessons on the internet, which are all the curriculum-based, like whosoever needs it, the children can go through them and they can learn. Okay, so this is after beaming them on television. So they were telecast on the television as well. Now see, this is beautiful. See, television, kids love to watch television. So if it's on television, then definitely they would love to watch and learn, right? So after their premiere, or the online telecast or the telecast on the television, they went on air on the internet as well. It will take out of the box thinking. It will take a bit of different thinking during the pandemic to come up with interventions that are a substitute for traditional methods and prevent 2020 becoming a zero year, as parents everywhere remain wary of sending children to school. Wary, they are cautious. Okay, थोड़े से सतर्क हो गए हैं, थोड़े से cautious हैं अभी, they remain wary of sending. This is an adjective. तो वो थोड़े से सतर्क हैं, थोड़ा सा dubious भी हैं, doubtful भी हैं बच्चे को स्कूल भेजने के लिए. So at present, amid the pandemic, we have to come up with a different approach, an out-of-the-box approach, which might help out in delivering the source or the educational resources that have to be given to the students, to the learners, right? So it is much needed, guys. It is the need of the hour at present, and this is what the writer wishes to convey in his or her article as well. So it is November 1, Okay, and it is a new month, new beginning, guys, and I hope people who are waiting for SSC exams are now all set for the exams, because notification एक एक करके आता ही जा रहा है, even for RRB, and RRB का तो classes भी हमारे channel पर start हो गए हैं. So do not forget to tune in into any session that you wish to, whether it's for RRB or for SSC. Crash course हमने आपके साथ किया है. Do not forget to watch those sessions and like and share with your friends. Also, you should subscribe the channel for regular sessions with us. Thank you so much.